You ever have one of those days where you're at work and you're looking at what other people in your industry do and it makes you just want to quit your job and go somewhere else? I'm having one of those days today. I don't know how else to describe this car other than this is kind of what happens when the sloppy mechanic culture permeates into the more professional side of the industry and the customer ends up being the victim. And I don't mean to bash on the sloppy mechanic crowd. That's cool. A lot of guys learning how to do stuff they otherwise wouldn't have known how to do. They're doing stuff on their own. They're being self-reliant. They're having fun, more importantly. They're making their vehicle something that they can enjoy and that they're proud of, and that's great. But if you're one of those guys and you actually don't really know what you're doing, you're just winging it, you cannot be building cars like this for other people. Honestly, I don't really even know where to start. I know just at a brief glance, it doesn't look like the worst thing ever, but like, okay, so I can't get the car to run at all, but when it does crank over, it's pumping oil out of this fitting because these are cheap Amazon fittings that never do work. It's missing a clamp on the turbo. This homemade little turbo mount is resting right up against the headlight plug. You actually cannot unplug the headlight if you need to, and there's no telling how hot that's going to get pushing up against that piece of plastic there. The factory AC wiring was lodged between the belt and the water pump pulley. I finally got it out. I stuck one of my little temporary pressure gauges on there. It only had 35 pounds of fuel pressure. I just got done doing a leak down test back here because one of the spark plugs had water on it. This less than professional job of relocating the ABS has resulted in bent and pinched off brake lines. I bet that wideband doesn't send really accurate readings. The wastegate is jammed up into the fan. Open crankcase port. Valley cover spout is open. Valve cover breather is wide open. AC wires are all chewed up. I just noticed this broken ground while making this video. That's probably most of the reason it won't run. The custom AC dryer up under the car is very well fitted to the crash bar. They welded the damn exhaust to the engine cradle. Every V-band has bird shit welds all the way around it and orange silicone inside them. Cold welds with lack of fusion and fish eyes that starts and stops every 1/4 of an inch. Mild steel MIG welding done on stainless steel pipe. Temporary attachment areas not ground back down, they just left their old welds on there. The oil return hose from the turbo is kinked right before the engine. Power steering fluid dripping down on the wastegate. All kinds of loose and still disconnected wires dangling down right in front of the wheel. No wire management going on up there. Maybe my favorites back here in the back seat where they cut the floor apart. One, where they didn't need to over there, and then two, look at this butcher job on the fuel pump. Relays just laying out here with spade connectors. Who knows what's even going on in there.